let's talk about the dash and the switchgear. Welcome everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, you've seen the static presentation, you've seen the riding video. Let us talk about the switchgear. Now, I'm gonna cover the buttons, the ignition, because it has a few other functions besides just being the ignition, and we're gonna take a look at the dash. So, starting off with the ignition. Now, let me just change hands. This is something starting to be very common on scooters, not just on SYMs. You can find on many other manufacturers. But say you leave your scooter parked under some trees, you wouldn't want leaves or rocks filling this hole, because then your key would get jammed. So press this button, it's blocked. Also, people can't come and try to start it with a screwdriver. So how you unlock this? Well, there is a bit of a magnetic part in this. This is the key, and it has this part which has a magnetic part, and you put it here and you turn it, and there it is, open. Now it has the normal functionality. Just press in, turn, and there we go. Handlebar is locked. Let's unlock it and get it out of the way. If we, without pressing, turn it to the left, the seat pops. That's good. Turn it once, we have ignition, and say we have the engine started, and we want to pop the seat without turning off the engine. Without pressing, we turn it. Sorry, it wasn't closed. Without pressing, we turn it to the left, to the right, sorry. Again, seat is open. So you can open the seat either by turning it to the left or to the right after you put on the ignition. Also, the fuel filler is here. We just press in and turn to the right, and there it is. The fuel cap is in. This isn't a lockable, the door is lockable, the fuel isn't. Also, if you're new to the cruise sim, word of warning, I don't know if you can see in there, let me just get my hand. When you fill it up, don't put the nozzle just here. The small circle inside, that's a flap. You put the nozzle further than that flap. You put the nozzle on that flap, press down, the flap opens, the nozzle goes in. If you don't do that, this will be full of petrol, and you will not have a nice time. Let me just put this back on, if I can manage it. There we go. Close it nicely. So that has been the ignition. Let's move on. Let's see, covered everything? Yes, yeah, we're good. Moving on to the right hand controls. Let me just go on this side. Let's start with the right ones, because these are more simple. You have front brake here, throttle here, nice bar ends. This used to be on the previous model, the hazard lights, but now that the hazards have left this position, they're over on the left side. Kill switch like any other motorcycle. Engine start button. When you want to start it, you put the ignition on, you hold either the front brake or the rear brake, so whichever handle you pull is okay, and you press the button and the engine fires to life. And the brake fluid reservoir for the front brake. Moving to the left side, we have the traction control disengagement button. Now, why would you want to turn off traction control? Now, the way traction control on a scooter works, it uses the ABS sensor. Let me just show you. This ring here and this sensor here, they measure how fast the wheel is spinning. You have one on the front, one on the back. The ABS compares the speed of the front wheel to that of the back wheel. So if it sees the rear wheel spinning faster than the front wheel, it will assume it's slipping. So it will reduce power, it will reduce engine power to try to bring the slip under control. Now, if you have a flat tire and you want to ride it out a bit, the tire being flat, basically the rear wheel will be spinning faster than the front wheel, or it will be a bigger difference than the computer is calibrated, and it will cut your power. Even if it isn't slipping, it's just deflated. It will cut your power. Also, if it's on the side stand and you want to rev it out, if it's on the center stand and if you want to rev it out, again, the rear wheel is free to spin. The computer will assume it's slipping and it will cut power. Let me just show you this. This happened. Let's not open that. Let's open this. Okay, so engine is on. We're on the center stand. We want to show off to our buddies. We rev it out. Come on, go. That is the traction control cutting power and trying to stop that wheel from spinning. So that's why you want to have a traction control off switch, so you can ride on a flat tire in case you absolutely have to, so that you can show off to your friends. And also, if you're on a bit of a dirt road or a muddy surface and you want to get out and you want to push it a little bit, you don't want traction control cutting power when you're in mud. Don't ask me how I know this, but the Cruisym can actually go through mud. But let's not talk about that. Now, moving on. Horn switch. Let's hear the horn. Pretty solid horn. Yep. People will definitely hear you. Indicators, right and left. They also show up on the dash. The left one, the right one, your high and low beam, and also here you can flash the brights, just in case you're coming up on slower motorists, like, hey, get out of my way, because yeah, passing light, that's what you're supposed to do, flash people when you pass them so they know that you're beating them. And also hazard lights. This was on the right side, it has moved on the left. Nicer switch. Turn on the hazards, and also turn off the hazards, the rear brake, and the rear brake fluid reservoir. Now I think I should go somewhere with a little bit more shadow, because I really want you to properly see the dash. Let's take a look. Yeah, no, let's find something. Let's find a place. Where can we? I'll just find a place where there's not so much direct sunlight, so I can show you the dash properly. 1 second. All right, found some shade. Let's take a look at this dash. Can you see it? Yeah. All right, there it goes. I'm just gonna try and show you. You have on your left side the idiot lights. Up here, the two indicators, and the dash itself. We have rev counter to the left, digital speedometer, a fuel gauge, total trip, and we can change this. So you have total kilometers, the odometer, you have your trip meter, which you can reset, and you have a second trip meter that is marked oil, so you know when you changed the oil last. If you reset it every time you change the oil, you know when you changed the oil. We have engine temperature gauge, a clock, and if we press the S, let's see, no, The clock should have turned into, let me see this, a voltmeter. There it is, now it shows volts. And now it shows clock. If you hold the S for longer, it turns to miles. And then we switch it back to kilometers. There we go. So when you started, the clock becomes, when you first started, the clock becomes a voltmeter. And I think that's about it, about the dash. In terms of lights, I know you can see some of them, but I can. That's the TCS light, the traction control. Next to it is the oil check light. It comes up every 1000 kilometers to remind you to check your oil. Check engine light, fuel light. I have no idea what that is. I really have no idea what this is. High beams, ABS, and side stand. Let's see if I put the side stand down. There it goes. Side stand lights up. I'm gonna have to check the manual to see what this is. What this light to the left is. But this has been the new dash of the Cruisym. It's a welcome update for 2021. Gone are the two old-fashioned dials, although I like them, but this is better. Honestly, this is better. It's more up to date, it's more 2021. It really brings the scooter into the 21st century with a digital dash. Unfortunately, it's not a full TFT, but considering the price point, a color LCD is just good enough. Oh yeah, one more thing. The SYM logo here on the right lights up, because of course you have a light up logo. You just have to. But yeah, the dash really works with this model. It's a welcomed addition for 2021. The switchgear feels high quality. Even the janky TCS button, I really don't like it. But check out next video. I'll talk more about this. Link is up here somewhere. The switchgear feels high quality. It feels solid. It feels like it can last 10-20 years. I have no complaints about it. All in all, high quality switchgear. Your touch points feel great. The grips feel great. The dash looks great. Not really much to complain about this updated ergonomics and dash layout. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and also don't forget to check out the other videos on the Cruisym. Link down in the description below. 4 total videos on this Cruisym, besides the teaser one, in case you've seen the teaser one. Besides that, this one and another 3 videos are on the channel. Don't forget to check them out. Like it if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't. Take care out there, guys, and ride safe. Goodbye.